and then something else. About Amrita Buddha and about Amrita Mandala. This retreat and kind of we are living, how do you say, we are living interesting times. In the sense that, as you know, I've been now for 4.5 years, I've been focused on figuring out how to heal traumas, complex traumas, and coming up with practices that heal traumas, and coming up with practices with the help of my masters, indispensable help of my gurus, that will then activate the meridian system, and thus, together with the emptiness body, reveal the body of light. So it's been quite a task, and also for many years I have taught physical practices. I was just remembering, I remember that back in 2017 when I think that was the last time we had a small retreat for a small group in northern Norway, in this small cabin. And I remember us there's this porch at the side of the cabin, like this elevated porch, and there was maybe 7 or 8 of us, and we did stepping practices. I remember us doing them there. And I would taught them every now and then. I have taught the warm-up sequence for many, many years, since I started teaching back in 2008, and even before that, when I was leading Zen sessions here and there. So the same bits and pieces that we have done this week, same exercises I have done and taught for many, many years, but at the same time, like I kind of referred to in passing, Terayama Roshi taught bone marrow washing, or alternatively you could call them immortality exercises, in his own way. And he was beautiful when he moved. If you haven't seen Terayama Roshi's videos, we have them on Amrita Mandala YouTube channel. Check them out, because I have never seen anybody move like he moved. It was poetry, beautiful. But then, as we all, we grow and we gain perspective, and in my case, as the founder of this method, what has been required of me to do this in-depth contemplation and in-depth analysis of what practices, what is really necessary to attain this triple body, Trikaya Buddhahood. And this has been the burning question for me for many years, decades actually. And I feel that these are interesting times, because I feel that this process is coming to an end. So 2.5 years ago, I think it was 2.5 years ago in Porvoo on the autumn retreat, I taught Amrita asanas, the way how we practice them. And since then I've been on these opportunities that I get on these retreats, I've been teaching Amrita asanas, and now more recently came into bone marrow washing, because Bodhidharma taught me how it was practiced back in the day, back in his time, and which you, as you know, have now learned. So there are a number of things kind of coming into conclusion, and 3 weeks ago I published a text entitled First Sight of Amrita Buddha in our Facebook Sangha, and I went through that text today and did some changes to the text and additions, and I also noticed that there was one big mistake in that text which completely changed the meaning of one point there. I've corrected it here, but I would like to read this text with additional remarks. So I will just read it so I won't miss any of the important points. So first sight of Amrita Buddha and additional remarks. I've spoken about the energetic design of Buddhism and Hinduism and their different branches for many years. What we do with the practices and deities of the path of wisdom and clarity is standard Buddhist tantric design. Same with the path of healing and light and its practices of Hindu design, but joining these two paths is unique. Joining the two means joining clarity and blissful and bubbly heart-centered ease, which is unique. Then there is the third path, the path of health and great bliss, with physical practices including Amrita asanas, immortality exercises, or alternatively bone marrow washing, and so on. This aspect of the method is standard classical Zen, which is a branch of Mahayana Buddhism. What makes Zen, and especially Zen of the ancient patriarchs such as Bodhidharma and Hakuin, both included in Mahasiddha family, unique is their physicality. If you have ever met Japanese Rinzai Zen masters, you know what I'm talking about. This kind of physicality, or basic state physicalized, is not found in either Buddhist nor Hindu Tantra, except a little bit here and there. For example, Agastya and Dolpopa have a little bit of that, but not like the Zen patriarchs do. That physical quality is cultivated with the practices of the path of health and great bliss. Now, 4.5 years after perfecting emptiness, that is causal body practices, the end result of the two paths relating to the astral and physical bodies are beginning to appear. With the guidance of the masters, I have put these unique features together, which of course will have a unique result. I say that because what we do in Amrita Mandala is putting the features of the three kayas, three Buddha bodies, kayas, together in a way that at present does not exist in the world, though used to. To be clear, there is no new invention here. It's just putting the underlying principles together in a unique way which is different to Vajrayana Buddhism, Tantric Hinduism and Zen, because none of them produces Buddhas of this type, though they also produce Buddhas, realized Mahasiddhas. So same principles, same ingredients, but different design and interpretation of Buddha nature. I was supposed to delete that part. Well, maybe I will read this part as well. Half a year ago we were visited by Rob from Stockholm, Sweden, here in Slovenia. He's a very sensitive fellow and an expert in IT, so he had made an electrical prayer wheel with special mantras. He called it Mantra of Amrita Buddha. As he said those words, they struck me from the inside. I'd been so occupied with my ongoing retreat and its demands, so I had had no time to think so far ahead about the end result. But as he said, Amrita Buddha, it was like an aha moment when I thought, yes, that's where we are going. This evening I was sitting outside. I wrote this 4 weeks ago. This evening I was sitting outside playing ball with Metta and meditating, looking at the valley and the river, when a spontaneous mantra began playing in my head. Om Amrita Buddhaye Namaha. Om Amrita Buddhaye Namaha. With the mantra, my bodies, the three, opened up in the above defined manner with all three dantians, these pure centers in the head, heart and belly, with all three dantians up and running equally in this unique and spontaneous way. I chuckled. Yes, this is it, the end result of our method, as the mantra kept playing in my mind. Clear and sober, while at the same time so sweet and joyful, while at the same time a powerhouse of the densest possible blessings. That's a brief description of the three dantians and the three kayas. Amrita Buddha. It literally means deathless or immortal, plus awakened or enlightened one. So finally, after years and years of hard work, I added the third hard. It was that hard. The final result is beginning to show and become a realized and physicalized result. It's a major sign. This is of course where all of you Sangha members are heading. If you master these practices, you will realize and embody the three kayas like Amrita Buddha, or perhaps I could say like a Mahasiddha of the Amrita Mandala lineage. It's just a different take and different design of enlightenment, where all three dantians that are the seeds of the three Buddha kayas are equally active. I've spoken about the revitalized practices for many years, and we've been practicing them together all this time. Then I just wrote this short additional remark today. Mahasiddhas that have attained the triune or triple body of light, of causal, astral and physical bodies, have all purified their systems. But the difference of Buddha Dharma and its lineages, and Hindu Dharma and its design, is in different emphasis between the three kayas or bodies, that is, the three dantians. In Amrita Mandala, due to the three paths of wisdom and clarity, healing and light, and health and great bliss, the three are all in equal measure, instead of having emphasis on one over the other two. Amrita Buddha is the deity which has all three bodies combined and cultivated at the same time. I'll read the last sentence again. Amrita Buddha is the deity which has all three bodies combined and cultivated at the same time. So we have these three main dantians, three pure centers, and they are the seeds of the three bodies: causal body, astral body, physical body. Right? And what is meant with have all three in equal measure, well, first of all, just like I said in that text, a Mahasiddha is somebody who's there are two different definitions for Mahasiddhas. So we have three bodies, but you could say that a Mahasiddha is somebody who has purified and activated causal and astral. That is a perfect definition. So these upper two dantians and the subtle bodies related to these dantians. Okay? But then you could also define Mahasiddhahood as someone who has included the physical body. And these are the individuals like Padmasambhava, so many others, also from Hindu tradition, Taoist tradition. I just read that account of ancient Zen patriarch Pragyatara, who disappeared into flame and rose into the sky and rained relics on the devotees. So this full light body requires all three bodies, all three realization of all three Buddha kayas. And the way, what I said a couple of times in the text is that how Amrita Buddha, or how our paths, how our practices are different, is that they activate all three centers in equal measure. In equal measure. What I mean by that? It means that Buddhists, in Buddha Dharma, there is emphasis on this one. As you know, I remember over 20 years ago when I started to notice that, okay, Buddhists have a certain kind of energy, and it's different from Kriya Yogis. It's different from Hindus. And I remember having discussions about this with my teachers, of course, and with practitioner friends, and they had made similar observations. So Buddhism emphasizes this one. There is also a little bit of heart there, because there is compassion, but not in the way like Hindus usually have it. So if I had to give like a rough analysis of, if I think of Vajrayana Buddhists, for example, most of the emphasis is here. Maybe you could say 50-60% in the upper Dantian, and then if it's roughly 50%, then maybe 30-40% in the heart, and the rest, the little rest, 10-20% in the gut center. So, but lots of emphasis on head, which is of course due to the fact that Buddhists focus so much on realization of timeless wisdom, pragya wisdom, selflessness, emptiness. And then on the other hand, with Hinduism, this is like a generalization. With Hinduism, it's kind of the other way around. 50-60% in the heart, then maybe 10-20% in the head, and the rest in the gut. But heart stands out. And like I said in the text, in Zen, on the other hand, it's so much emphasis on the lower Dantian, then most in the lower Dantian, then the second most in the head, and the least in the heart. And like I said, or did I say it? If somebody is a Mahasiddha, it means that all of the energetic bodies need to be up and running 100%. So if I say that, for example, there is His Holiness the Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche's image is there behind the laptop, and he was a Vajrayana master, he was a Mahasiddha. But if you tune into him, it's definitely that Dharmakaya clarity is prevalent, and then heart secondly, and gut or physicality least. So, but he's a Mahasiddha. So the subtle bodies are 100% open. But what I mean by this design of Amrita Mandala and Amrita Buddha is that all three Dantians are in equal measure. 33, 33, 33. And this is unique. I really haven't had time to look into it, but at this point I know that there has been masters who've had that same kind of design. But maybe I will talk about this later. It's already only 25 past. I thought that it would take me like an hour and a half to explain this, but apparently I already did it. So this is what I wanted to say. It's has been a long and winding road, winding but straight, to come to this point. And I wanted to give this introduction to Amrita Buddha now on this retreat on the final day, because next month I will start giving empowerments again. And I gave a talk that you can find from YouTube entitled Empowerments and Requirements, month or 2 months ago. I think it was 2 months ago, where I spoke about why I haven't given deity empowerments in a year and a half, and why I've now decided to begin them. And I also explained what is required from anybody who wants to receive those empowerments. So I'm not giving empowerments anymore openly to just anybody. There are requirements, number of requirements that need to be met so that I give them. But I do give them. At one point I was thinking that I will only give empowerments live in person, but I realized that our Sangha is so small and so scattered at the moment that I will do it both through Zoom as well as live, of course. People are welcome to join these empowerments, come over here to Slovenia for them. But these requirements need to be met. So I learned more from my mistakes in the past, and I'm not giving empowerments anymore to people who are not ready for it. And that lack of readiness can mean many things. You can maybe watch the video to get a sense of what that might mean. But yes, Amrita Buddha, I don't have the date now when I published the dates in Facebook 2 weeks ago, and it's late August when I start giving empowerments again. Everybody needs to apply to join for them, meeting those requirements, of course. And the first one will be Amrita Buddha, because that's the main deity coming out of the hard work of many years. Okay? And what I had in mind for this session is I'm not going to give you an empowerment of Amrita Buddha, but I can transmit to you the blessings of Amrita Buddha.